It's your boy PvbloGrey. Today we have a new reaction video. Today is Easter Sunday. What is it? April 12th. And genuine reaction video. All I do, I just go on. Man, I had the choice to pick anything to react to. It could have been hip hop, could have been current events. You know, the typical current events though. But what I decided to do reactions to is what's going on in politics today, especially on these news channels. And let me put this phone up somewhere before it drop again. Don't be surprised you hear that shit buzzing. My phone just be going off. But let's see what we got here today. So the video says COVID-19 antibody tests are being conducted across the country. I have yet to watch this, so let's get it started.
As many have said, one of the keys to reopening the country may be testing for antibodies to see if Americans have been exposed to the virus and if they might have some immunity. It would certainly offer some reassurance as families decide if it's safe to go back to work. Tonight we're with the researchers with an experimental test checking for antibodies, a simple pinprick. But can the federal government, do they have the ability to get tens of millions of these tests ready and quickly? What they said about that today. Here's ABC's Kaylee Hartung tonight.
Whoa. Just from what I heard, basically from what I just heard, they trying to see if certain people are, immune to it or have a better chance of fighting this. And I guess, I don't know that. I just got that part. Let me go run it back just to make sure I ain't miss shit.
Maybe testing for antibodies to see if Americans have been exposed to the virus and if they might have some immunity. It would certainly offer some reassurance as families decide if it's safe to go back to work.
So it sounds like regular ass testing. It sounds like the same type of testing you would go into the hospital for if you felt like you had this. Whether you had it or not, and you felt like you had it, it sounds like the same exact test. But
tonight we're with the researchers with an experimental test checking for antibodies, a simple pinprick. But can the federal government, do they have the ability to get tens of millions of these tests ready and quickly? What they said about that today. Here's ABC's Kaylee Hartung tonight.
Tonight on the front lines of a key battle in the fight to get America back to work. A line of people in Northern California waiting for an antibody test to determine whether they've been exposed to the coronavirus without knowing it and may now...
Hold the fuck up. They testing these niggas while they in the car. They pricking niggas while they in the car. Listen, let me tell you why this is so weird. This low-key looked like that first video that came out of China where they were showing you how serious they was taking this virus when they pulled that man out of his car. You know what I'm talking about. They had the guns pointed up at the man's car, pulled him out the car, made him get on the floor, the whole shebang. Like, this kind of what this looked like.
Be immune.
The key to reopening is going to be testing.
The antibody testing in California, part of a USC Stanford study, requires just a drop.
Let me just stop it right there. Basically, what these niggas is saying is, you want to get back to the normal life you were so comfortable doing before all of this, right? You want to do that so bad that you may just be willing to do this and get your finger pricked, get tested. Do not be one of these dumbass motherfuckers. Do not be one of these dumbasses that allow these people to have access to your DNA through blood. Do not be this foolish. If you are not sick, if you do not feel any symptoms, fuck getting tested. Do not be this foolish. Y'all know Google already collecting DNA. They did this shit, in Denmark? Been collecting people's DNA in Denmark? Picking up people's saliva, they gum? What you think they about to do with your blood? Come on, man.
Drop of blood, a simple pinprick. They say it costs about $10 and results are available.
And they about to charge you. So not only is they about to possibly get you sick and have your DNA information, but you about to pay them to do it. Let's just put that out there.
In about 10 minutes.
$10
10 minutes per test, and you are gathering incredibly valuable information.
We can
How much information? How much information?
do this on a very large scale if we want to.
The federal government has yet to
How
deploy a
large of a
nationwide
scale?
test. New York State, the epicenter of the crisis, is developing its own, but they're only able to perform a few thousand tests a week.
It's not enough if you want to reopen on a meaningful scale and reopen quickly.
Listen, already, bro. This is the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. This nigga is so fucking dirty. The nigga is dirty, corrupted. This man is being funded by China as well. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. All I'm spilling is conspiracy theories, right? Don't be this dumb. You know this nigga best friends with the Clintons. If that don't say enough, and Clintons, they best friends with Bill Gates, the man who want these tests, who want these vaccines. Cause he making both of them. He manufacturing both of them. The test, the vaccine.
We need
Not to mention, this is the same nigga that just got caught lying about how he didn't send out these masks, but he had them piled up, and how he needed masks. Y'all seen the video.
an unprecedented mobilization where government can produce these tests in the
And before I even let this continue playing, out of all the people who could be speaking forward about this testing, they had to put this man out there. I understand, yes, he is a political figure, but there's obviously 100 he's a senator, governor. There's 49 others, and you had to put this one on TV. You had to show this one. Pay attention. There's a reason for everything.
millions.
Today, Governor Cuomo calling on President Trump to use the Defense Production Act to make private companies produce antibody tests. But today from the White House,
There's not a lot of issues with testing.
the president has down.
Listen, I'm all for entrepreneurship, laissez-faire, keeping the government out of shit. But when a politician pushes for this, and it's not necessarily the voice of the people or someone who represents the people, you know what I'm talking about. Let's be real, this man does not necessarily represent the people. Your man's from down the street would do a better job of representing the people because he come from that life. This governor has never lived the life of the majority of people from New York. So when this man is pushing for private companies to produce this, it sounds like he might have one of these private companies. That way, that man can make his money while doing this. And if he ain't got one of his private companies, it's probably one of his pals, one of his political buddies that got one of these private companies. You know what? That's my next research topic. We gonna find out.
Downplayed the need for nationwide testing to diagnose COVID-19 or detect whether a person has had the virus and is now possibly immune.
We want to have it, and we're going to see if we have it. Do you need it? No.
Let me go back. I kind of lost where they was going with this.
19 or detect whether a person has had the virus and is. The president has downplayed the need for nationwide testing to diagnose COVID-19 or detect whether a person has had the virus and is now possibly immune.
We want to have it, and we're going to see if we have it. Do you need it? No. Is it a nice thing to do? Yes. We're talking about 325 million people, and that's not going to happen.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Y'all see how they just tried to. This is what I'm talking about. And let me put this out there. I am not a Trump supporter. I never voted. I don't give a fuck about none of these politicians. But let me tell you how these niggas in the news try to stir up hatred. My man's They try to say my man's downplayed the virus and the outbreak and what just happened in the testing. Like I just told you, if you not sick, if you never felt like you had it, what would be the point of you getting it? There's no fucking point. The only reason someone should get it is if they felt sick, they've been around people who were sick. That's about it. Felt sick, been around people who were sick. Other than that, what point do you have of getting it? That's all my mans was saying.
325 million people. We want to have it, and we're going to see if we have it. Do you need it? No. Is it a nice thing to do? Yes. We're talking about 325 million people, and that's not going to happen.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci says testing is key, and today
that nigga.
announced the federal government is closing in on an antibody test.
Within a period of a week or so, we're going to have a rather large number of tests that are available.
President Trump now making this pledge.
We're confident that the production will scale up to tens of millions of tests very quickly.
A lot of eyes will be watching to see if that actually comes to fruition. And Kaylee with us tonight. The president, Dr. Fauci, were both asked today, Kaylee, whether Americans might one day have to carry some sort of proof that they have immunity from the virus.
Yeah, David, Dr. Fauci was asked if he could imagine that day when Americans would carry around a so-called certificate of immunity. He said it's possible. It's something they're discussing. He says we need to make sure we know the difference between who's still vulnerable to infection and who's not. David?
What? Bruh. This shit came out 2 days ago. They basically saying, they talking about you gonna have to walk around and have a ID, some type of card that identifies and shows that you are immune to this. Just they not discussing the part of what happens if you don't have this card or you don't have this immunity to this. Don't that sound like some shit? Some end of the world shit? But this is your boy Anthony Fauci.
All right, Kaylee Hartung, who has recovered from coronavirus herself, and we're glad to see that, Kaylee. Thanks for reporting tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
healthy.
Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show...
Listen, man. Listen. Pay attention to the news. I'm not saying believe the news. Pay attention. Understand, jot down, and see the discrepancies between these news stories and the lies, the holes they have in their stories. A lot of these niggas is lying. But you gon' find out what exactly is the truth between all of these lies. All I'm asking is pay attention. Don't let this shit happen behind your back while you streaming Instagram, quarantine radio. Don't let this dumb shit happen while you distracted. Because you so bored, you just don't want to look at the news. You don't want to know what's going on or how shit going to affect you and how things going to be tomorrow. Cuz you so comfortable with right now. And right now shouldn't be a time to be comfortable. Sorry. It ain't. We ain't got time for this shit. We really don't. Let's get to it. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Look out for the other videos I got coming. I'm probably about to do another reaction video. Shit. Stay safe, people.